Hey, what's up guys? Dustin here with Rocky Mountain ATV/MC. Today I'll be showing you how to replace the countershaft seal on a dirt bike. The countershaft seal is what keeps the transmission oil from leaking out of the transmission through the countershaft. Now, when it begins to leak, you will definitely be able to notice it as you will see transmission oil in and around the area of the countershaft sprocket. Now, they're really easy to change out, and today I'll be showing you how to service it on a 2015 KTM 300 XCW. To do this job, we're just going to need a few tools. Now, keep in mind that those tools may vary depending on the bike that you're working on, but for today we'll be using some snap ring pliers. We've got some open-ended wrenches, a set of pliers, a hammer, and a socket that's about the same diameter as our oil seal here. Then we've got the K&L oil seal puller as well as the Motion Pro countershaft seal puller. We will be using the Motion Pro for today. Then we've got the All Balls countershaft seal kit that's a replacement for the bike. Now, we do offer many other options on our website, so be sure to check that out. Then we've got some rubber gloves, some grease, contact cleaner, some rags, and some safety glasses. Now, when it comes to working on your bike, always be sure to reference your service manual for specific procedures, safety information, and torque specs. To begin, start by thoroughly spraying down and cleaning the area of the countershaft sprocket. Next, we can remove our countershaft sprocket by either removing your snap ring, center bolt, or nut. If you have a countershaft nut, start by using a chisel, punch, and hammer to flatten the lock nut washer. Put the bike into gear to help freeze the countershaft while a buddy holds down the rear brake so that you can remove the nut or bolt. It may be difficult to remove the sprocket nut, but don't worry, this is totally normal. Then we can begin to remove our sprocket from the countershaft. Now, depending on the type of the bike that you have, you may have to remove the chain or just create some more slack. With the sprocket removed, be sure to clean the area of the countershaft seal and remove any dirt, mud, or sand. With the area of the countershaft nice and clean, we can take our channel lock pliers, we can grab onto the sprocket spacer, and we can pull it off the countershaft. Now we can remove our countershaft seal. Now, for this, we're going to be using our Motion Pro countershaft seal removal tool. Now, you can use a variety of other tools, but if you choose to do so, be careful not to scratch the engine case or the countershaft. Now, to use this tool, we're going to hold on to the body of the seal remover. We're going to take a 17mm socket, we're going to rotate this like so, and this is going to spread or open the seal puller. Once you've got that nice and snug, we'll keep our 17 in a fixed position, and we'll take our 14mm and we'll begin to rotate it clockwise. And this will begin to press against the countershaft, in turn removing the seal. With the seal removed, we can now remove the O-ring with our pick tool. Then take a clean rag and carefully remove any dirt or debris that may be trapped inside of here. Be careful not to knock it into the bearing or into the transmission's case. I just want to take a minute and talk about the O-rings that come in this replacement seal kit for this bike. Now, the kit will come with two different sizes of O-rings. So once you get yours removed, you'll want to match it up with an O-ring that's the same size and same diameter. Now, once you get that installed, if it is to still leak from the countershaft, you will want to swap it out for the other one. Now, keep in mind, there are some bikes out there that have two O-rings on the countershaft, so be sure to reference your service manual for your bike's specifics. Before we install our new O-ring, we're going to take just a little bit of grease and coat the O-ring. We're going to slide it onto our countershaft. Next, we can take our countershaft seal. We're going to take a little bit of grease and we're going to coat the lip of the seal evenly. You can even take a small amount of grease and just kind of coat the outside of the seal as well. Then we can place it onto our countershaft here like so. press it into place lightly so it'll stay there. Then we can take our socket that's about the same size and diameter as our seal, and we can begin to drive it into place. Now when we drive the seal into place, we want to make sure that we drive it on evenly, and then we will set it so that it is flush with the engine's case. When driving the seal, take your time and be careful with this step as to avoid damaging it. Check to see if it is flush with your fingertips. Before we install the sprocket spacer, there's something I want to point out real quick. The side that's going to face in towards the engine will have a lip to it, a slight recess. This is going to compensate for our O-ring. Now the side that's going to be facing outwards will be nice, flat, and flush. Now before we install this, we're going to take just a little bit of grease. We're going to coat the outside of it. Once the outer diameter has been coated, we'll coat the area in which we'll mate with our O-ring, just slightly, as well as a little bit of grease on the inner diameter as well. Then we can take and place it onto our countershaft with the recessed side facing the engine. Once we get to the seal, we'll gently work it into place. Wipe off any excess grease. Then we can reinstall the sprocket onto the countershaft. Before installing your sprocket, make sure to give it a good cleaning. Next, we can install our snap ring onto the countershaft. Now before we do that, we need to make sure that we have enough clearance on the shaft so that it can receive the snap ring. Now when you push on your sprocket and you're not able to get enough clearance to see the ring landing for the snap ring, you may want to switch over to the thinner O-ring. Alright, now once you get your snap ring set into place, you'll want to double check to make sure that it's fully seated in its ring landing. So give it a good inspection. Now if you're using a bolt, a center bolt type, or the nut type that bolts on, you'll want to use some medium strength to high strength thread locker. Now with this snap ring style, just to give us some added assurance, we're going to take some silicone gasket and cover the snap ring and these splines that protrude from it, just to ensure that it doesn't have a chance of ever coming off, especially in racing conditions. Now if your countershaft is a nut type, make sure to reinstall the lock washer, but inspect it where it bends over to the nut. Now if it's cracking or breaking, make sure to replace it. Then we can install the countershaft sprocket nut. Place the bike into first gear and have someone hold the foot brake while we torque the sprocket nut to spec. Next, bend the locking tabs over onto the lock nut. And that's it. Replacing the countershaft seal is a breeze, especially when you have the right tools. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to leave us a comment below and we'll be sure to get an answer back to you. And subscribe to our YouTube channel for more product spotlights, top fives, and tests. And also see our website at RockyMountainATVMC.com. All right, that's it for me. I'm Dustin with Rocky Mountain. Thanks for watching and keep turning those wrenches.